not going to win more than one game this week, right? Going into the Four Nations tournament break.
You and me both hoping for that for sure.
You ever just want to get down on one knee and thank the hockey gods upstairs that Phil Forsberg is a Nashville Predator? Hey everybody, it's Jersey Guy. Hold my beer. Are you sure you want me here? Hat trick watch anybody? Is it really somewhere that we owe a massive debt to the hockey gods?
Again and again and again.
You're like a kid again, Johnny. Is this happening? Is this happening? This isn't an ad for some dang cookie. I want a piece of that action. Well, you don't have to tell me twice.
What do you have to tell me that is going to make me feel positive? And
maybe the Titans won't let us down on Thursday. Preds, walk it off! Okay, on with Johnny's reaction video.
Redemption take you home.
Hey, broken record. Here we go again. Preds lose 3-0 to the Pittsburgh Penguins Saturday night inside PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Saros makes 34 saves, and on most nights when you make that many saves, coupled with only allowing 2 goals, that should get you a win 9 times out of 10. But on this night, the goalie on the other end of the ice for a home team in this game made 25 saves, and he got his first shutout of the season. Of course, the Preds would help a team failing at getting a shutout to earn their first shutout of the season on the Father's Day trip, no less. Saros played his butt off, and we'll get into the details of that, and got nothing in terms of goal support from the boys in front of him. The remaining 31 games is going to be the longest stretch of our lives, Preds Nation. Preds playing the second half of the back-to-back on a quick 2-game dad's road trip after failing to get a win in Buffalo. They also failed to not only get a win in Pittsburgh on a short flight, they also recorded 0 goals. You know, boys, it really would have been nice to have gotten at least one win of this trip to, reward the man who paid for all of your road trips as a kid, got up early, got that coffee for them so they could watch you at those early morning practices. But nope, instead this team gets its 7th shutout against them of the season through 51 games. That's definitely got to be a franchise record to this point in the season. It was nice to see that Saros was back in the Preds lineup after that short illness kept him out of the lineup in Buffalo, and that Annan was back being his backup in this game. And just add this to the continuing struggles of me trying to watch my team, and their broadcast partner, NHL Center Ice, sticks me with Pittsburgh Sportsnet. So on this night as well, that they happen to be honoring Patrick Hornquist. Yes, Mr. Irrelevant, who was drafted by the Preds with the last pick overall, but then was traded to the Penguins in exchange for James Neal. And then, Preds fans everywhere, what was Patrick Hornquist's biggest moment in a Penguins uniform? I had to close my eyes when Pittsburgh Sportsnet showed a certain goal from Game 6 in 2017. And we should have seen this coming because, of course, at least either this man or Cody Glass, I'm surprised not both were going to score a goal against the Preds. Philip Tomasino, of course, Philip Tomasino would open the scoring for the Penguins in the first against his former team. He got interviewed post-game, and as much as I could stand to listen, not that I hate Tomasino, I just didn't want to be reminded of the pain of just giving up on him and giving away to Pittsburgh, is that he was happy to be with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yes, we know you are, because this front office right now doesn't know how to develop younger talent. Fortunately for the Preds, I thought in the moment that they were only down 1-0 after 1, and maybe a sign of things to come, that was probably their best period overall, because it was 9 and 9 shots apiece, and the Preds would continue the next 2 periods of not hitting double digits in shots and being outshot in every period. Points of interest in the second period were really short, is the fact that Rust sets up Crosby for the 2-0 goal, and I know Saros had been struggling leading up to the Anaheim game last Saturday. But all things considered, against Vancouver, even though his shot faced were rather low in this game, overall, Saros is playing pretty well, we have to say, and he's rebounded since last week in 2 straight games. But it's not going to help if the players in front of him aren't scoring goals. The goalie can't cross center ice to score a goal. He's got to just prevent the goals. And if he's only allowing 2 goals, you better get him the W. The other things of note in that second period were that Luke Evangelista and Fedor Svechkov both had to leave temporarily due to an apparent injury. Thank God they came back, so at least there's some young players on this roster who seem to be giving effort and will have something for this fan base fun to watch leading down the last 30-something games of the season. I guess in retrospect, the third period was where most of the highlights were, despite the Preds losing this game. Roman Josi tries to create some offense immediately as the period begins to try and spark the team. I'll give him credit for that chance, even though it didn't result in a goal. About 6 minutes in, Sidney Crosby skates into the Preds end with the puck, drags it, tries to fake out Saros, goes around the net, but Josi isn't buying it and makes the save by the time he wraps it around. Under 7 minutes left to go in regulation, Preds still down 2-0. After a scramble in front of UC Saros. Sneaky, we all remember the 2017 Stanley Cup Final. Sneaky. Sidney Crosby tries to get an extra shot in to get the loose puck. Yeah, that was his reason. And UC is having enough of Crosby's bullcrap and gives him a shove. Then his teammates came to his defense. I wish the Preds teammates would have done something when he was still digging when he shouldn't have been. So the refs assess a penalty on both sides. They give Crosby a 2-minute penalty for roughing, and because goalies can't serve their penalties physically in the box, UC Saros gets a 2-minute minor for slashing that's served by Tommy Novak. Just over 2 minutes remaining, Bruno decides to finally pull UC Saros, but it's all for naught because the Preds, who I don't even think they've scored with the goalie pulled late in the game. I wish they would get at least one. Brian Rust of the Penguins puts this game to bed with his empty net goal, and the Penguins win another game against the Preds in Steeltown by a final score of 3-0. Well, there it is, another loss, Preds Nation. 4 straight L's after that 5-game win streak last week brought a little bit of hope to this fan base. Well, now the Preds' chances of making the playoffs have dropped to a season low 1.3%, and the chances of that first overall pick in the NHL draft lottery have climbed to a season high 7.4%. Please, Preds, continue this. Get those NHL draft lottery odds up and up and up so we have something to hang on after this disastrous of a season is over. Preds now have 3 games left until that 2-week break for the Four Nations tournament. They have Ottawa on Monday, back at Bridgestone on Amazon Prime, no less. I'm going to have fun trying to watch that game. Ottawa's a playoff team. That should be a loss for the Preds. Then they have 3 full days off before they go to Chicago next Friday. Who knows with this team? They seem to still struggle even though they have multiple days off. But heck, okay, fine. I'll give them a little credit. I'll say that's a win. But then a week from tonight, back in Nashville, they will be welcoming Buffalo. After how they played against Buffalo yesterday and the fact that they're ahead of the Preds technically in the standings, that better be a loss too. Don't screw things up, Preds, and the plan for the future by getting 2 or more wins before the Four Nations tournament break. Please, don't screw up this future. Better yet, with the remaining 31 games to go in the Preds regular season, right near the tops in most games left, so much more misery to come before the Four Nations tournament break and afterwards. I don't want to see this team win more than 2 games in a row at any one point in the remaining games. Improve that draft stock and start stacking and developing the farm system with future stars who will wear Preds gold one day and return this team to prominence. So that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. You can find my social media, as always, and interact with me at any time this season during a Preds game or just event about this frustrating team by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption. And in the midst of my yet another rant about this hockey team, I may have forgotten to mention, especially with who the opponent was tonight. Don't worry. I still really hate the Penguins.